More from Rennie and Friends next Monday at 8:25. And there's comedy on BBC2 shortly with the very first episode of The Fall and Rise of Reginald Perrin. Here on 1 in 25 minutes, Panorama looks at the Year of the Spy following the recent spate of defections on both sides. This is BBC1.
The 9 o'clock news from the BBC with Julia Somerville and Andrew Harvey.
The M4 rapist and the Park Lane killer, a man has been arrested.
The report into the Land's End tragedy says the headmaster might have saved the boys.
Countdown to the summit, how Reagan is swatting up on Gorbachev.
And rock against apartheid. The stars go on record.
Good evening. Police in Croydon are tonight questioning a man about the murder of a woman in Hyde Park last week and 3 rapes, including the attack on the M4 earlier this month. It's the result of a huge coordinated police hunt involving men from 3 separate forces codenamed Operation Joiner. The joint operation was set up last week when similarities between the murder and the rapes made it likely that the same person was responsible. Jacqueline Murray was shot at point-blank range after she and a friend were picked up outside a hotel on Park Lane. Her body was dumped in Hyde Park nearby. From information given by the friend, the police linked the murder to the rape of the woman motorist whose car was forced off the M4 and 2 earlier rapes in Surrey. Today, armed police arrested a man in a car park just a few hundred yards from the incident room where the hunt was being coordinated. There are reports that he's a car mechanic.
Armed detectives were lying in wait for the man on the 7th floor of the multi-storey car park. Just after 3 o'clock this afternoon, they moved in and arrested the man as he approached a car that was parked there. The arrest comes only 4 days after the setting up of Operation Joiner, the special team of detectives from Wiltshire, Surrey and the Metropolitan Police Forces. Knowing that the M4 rapist had used several cars, they'd been keeping watch on a number of suspicious vehicles. The special police squad was set up at Croydon Police Station, only 300 yards from the scene of today's arrest, after a woman motorist was forced off the M4 and raped. It was the 3rd in a series of violent attacks on women which police suspected were carried out by one man. The M4 attack was followed 2 days later by the murder of a London prostitute in Park Lane. And a short time ago, the man arrested this afternoon left Croydon to be taken to West End Central Police Station, where the murder investigation is being coordinated.
Police hunting a man who raped a woman at Mortimer near Reading have issued an identikit picture of the attacker. His victim has told police that it's an excellent likeness of the man. It had been thought the case was linked to the M4 attack, but police now believe there is no connection.
An official inquiry into the drowning of 4 boys on a school trip to Land's End says their lives might have been saved if there'd been better planning and supervision. The report by Buckinghamshire County Council pins most of the blame on the headmaster of Stoke Poges Middle School, Alec Askew, who's since resigned. He was in charge and saw the boys down on the rocks before they were swept away. The report says if he had shouted and made vigorous hand signals to encourage the boys to move back up the cliffs, the tragedy might have been avoided. It goes on, there are many serious grounds for complaint against Mr. Askew. The other teacher with the children, Robin Harrington, is also criticised. He failed to disclose his fear of heights and he failed to assess properly the children's safety. The boys who died were James Holloway, who was 11, Nicholas Hurst, aged 10, Robert Ankers, aged 12, and Ricky Lambden, 11.
The 4 boys met their deaths in the sea off Land's End at the very southwestern tip of the English coast. They were in Cornwall for a week of educational visits and activities with 47 of their schoolmates, accompanied by 2 teachers and 3 other adults. A giant wave swept 4 children off the rocks. One, a girl, was rescued and survived, but another boy fell into the sea as he tried to rescue a friend. The headmaster, Mr. Alec Askew, retired as the parents of the dead boys demanded his sacking and a full public inquiry into the tragedy, despite an inquest which returned a verdict of misadventure. The inquiry by Buckinghamshire County Council's Chief Education Officer was in private, but 8 copies of its report were delivered first thing this morning to the parents,